We are Chance and Francine.
And we are Cornerstone.
I've got my memories always inside of me, but I can't go back.
We serve a mighty, mighty God. I can stand here today and say that because of God, I have overcome drug addiction and alcohol addiction. Because of my drug addiction, my children were removed from our care and placed with my mother-in-law by DHS. I have spent almost 2 years incarcerated in total, county time and prison time. I wound up going through the in-jail treatment program at Polk County Jail, and upon my release, I was sent to the women's facility. I was doing so much for the facility and DHS and my PO and everyone around me that I was having a really hard time finding a job. So the program Pathway Enterprises, Darlene Dunlap, had helped me to get a job here at Cornerstone in housekeeping. I used to sit in Polk County Jail when I was going through their drug treatment program for 4 months every Sunday, and I'd watch their video. And I remember thinking, when I get out, that's where I'm going to go. That's the church I'm going to rededicate my life back to the Lord in. A week before our Christmas party, I'd relapsed. And then we had our Christmas party at Pastor Dan's house. And I remember him going around the room asking several people to give their testimony on what exactly brought them to Cornerstone Family Church. And I remember not wanting to stand up and give my testimony because there were very few people in the church that knew exactly what I had done in my past and where I had been and the struggles I was going through. And of course, Pastor Dan called on me. And so I stood up in front of all these people, some of them strangers because some of them I had not met yet, some of the spouses of the employees. And I remember looking at the floor, holding my hands. They were sweating, I was crying. I was so nervous and so scared, but I gave my testimony anyways. And I remember looking up around the room, and everyone in the room was crying with me. It was the greatest feeling I'd ever felt. I remember not seeing any judgment. I remember seeing no anger or fear in their eyes. All I remember is seeing love. But it was too late. I had already messed up. And a week after that, I was sent to prison. I got out, and I had found out that Cornerstone had actually held my job for me. So the day after my release, I had a job, and I started back here at Cornerstone. There was just a number of doors that God had opened since then. He actually did not allow the state to terminate our parental rights. He opened the door to allow my husband and I to get our children back. Spring break last year, I talked him into coming in and volunteering. And he did, and he's never left the church since, and I thank God for that every day. He initially came to church on a bet that if I went back to school, he would come to church.
That's the reason I'm here. I mean, I never would have came back to church. I went to church when I was young, and I didn't find what I was looking for there, and I figured I'd given it a shot, and that was it. I'd find something else. They say God works in mysterious ways, and I'm so thankful I made that bet.
Because of God and because of the things that He has allowed to happen in my life, I have complete parental rights of my children. We're done with DHS. I have successfully completed parole this month. I will graduate college. The people that God has put in my life, I'm thankful for every single day, because if it had not been for the people that He had put in my life, I honestly don't know where I'd be today.
The people of this church, I mean, they're our family now. Once you get in the doors and you hear what goes on under this roof, then it becomes your family.
Yeah, this is home. Come too far, and I won't go back. Yeah, this is home.